I got tier 3 Cyclops. I bought into the hype and we went ahead and smashed out tier 3 Cyclops. So let's talk about it and let's see what he can do. Yeah, your boy's got tier 3 Cyclops. So the first thing I want to show you guys, hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's me. We're going to talk about his little, just check this out. Just be quiet for a second. Check this out. Look, you okay? Alright, for those of you wondering what it looks like in other versions of itself, here we go. We've got the exact same thing, and more of the exact same thing. I was personally thinking that with the red in the background, it was going to signify the Phoenix Force, the Phoenix 5, and so they would change that around in some way, but no, the same weird, I guess it's not weird, I guess his beams that he, you know, optically translates or whatever, teleports from another dimension where it's just a beam dimension. Seriously, you got to look up Cyclops' history on the where the beams come from. It's really messed up. It's all the same. He's got that sprinkler action going on, but what actually do we get for Rays of Ruin? Well, I've talked about the uniform. I've talked about the tier 3. Honestly, it doesn't seem all that impressive on paper, and that's the really weird thing about Cyclops. On paper, it seems not good. It doesn't seem like bad like Magneto, but it doesn't seem that good. And even for Magneto, you know, he has all defense down on his ultimate skill, yada yada yada. Cyclops has 3 seconds of guaranteed crit rate. Whoa, dude, not very good. But apparently it is very good. I don't really know how to explain it, and to show you guys what I'm talking about is just to go into some content. So we're gonna go into some content after we give a little recap here. Rank 700, 47,000 energy attack. That is including his own leadership. So if I swap this team and we go back to him, he's just over 40,000. So not that high. I'll add him to the guide later. As far as the build goes, we got capped ignore defense and cooldown, and then we got 45 on the crit rate, which is kind of low, but whatever. 178 on the crit damage, and 128 on the attack speed. We're still not at mythic here, but yeah, this is basically how it builds out with the options there, and then the 4th gear is swapped to crit damage. So yeah, he doesn't need more skill cooldown. Otherwise, yeah, use the first option on his uniform. As far as the rest of the I can get to a higher rank by spending gold on a useless upgrade for a skill that does no damage. So we went from rank 700 and change to what? Rank 679. That is criminal. Anyways, the rest of the build, we got a stage 8 Power Vanguard Hulk. That could definitely go way up. Also, don't make fun of me if you look at my account for Cyclops, but his Chaotix were equipped a long time ago, so they are really booty. They're really bad. They're like super doo-doo. Even this one is energy defense, not all defense. I'm gonna have to wait until I get these fully awakened. That's right, 6 red stars, Marvel Strike Force, and then I can re-roll them to better stats. So he's technically pretty suboptimal right now, if you're gonna get like really specific. And then for his obelisk, we've got free-to-play. My free-to-play brothers and sisters. Well, it's not really free to play because I spent the CCF to get him to tier 3, and I know for the free to plays it's really hard to get CCF. You know, you go like months without CCF. It's like a dry, barren wasteland of no CCF. But anyways, for me, I just purchased CCF, so yeah, I know it's tough. Anyways, we're gonna start off with a really impressive clear here. I'm gonna show you guys basically like the first minute of a stage 50. Now, I know first minute doesn't sound very good for Cull Obsidian, but it will basically extrapolate, and you just gotta trust me on this one because I want to show you other content. I actually want to play other content because I haven't tried him out against Corvus yet. So I actually want to see how good he is against Corvus because that 50% ignore dodge is pretty juicy. But this first minute, man, like he doesn't do any damage with his other skills, right? And then he just comes in with the tier 3 skill and he does like a boatload of damage. Like, yeah, we're using strikers here, but this is a free-to-play build, so you really have to take that into consideration. You have to remind yourself that we're not using a CTP of energy, we're not using a CTP of rage, we're using a good old-fashioned damage proc. And yeah, the nice thing about his tier 3 skill, there's actually 2 nice things about his tier 3 skill. The first one, just to be a bit technical here, is that it has very good targeting. So if you take someone like Sharon Rogers' tier 3 skill, and that would be like the opposite, where you can be very easily interrupted, and you even know against Cull Obsidian, or this guy Cull Obsidian, that he just moves around a little bit, and you can have your tier 3 skill interrupted. That doesn't really happen with Cyclops. For whatever reason, they made the targeting on this skill very good. So my boy Psyche, just doesn't get interrupted when he's doing his tier 3 skill. And then the second thing, which is pretty similar to Sharon Rogers, is that it does good damage. Even with the fire resistance, as you can see, the fire resistance is not stacking. It does almost a bar of damage. So in 1 minute, we did about 3 bars. He's got 17 bars. It's about 15 bars. I want to be a rapper. I'm trying to get more bars. I go on SoundCloud trying to find even more bars. Anyways, but yeah, see, like, yeah, you see that? That was pretty damn good. That was pretty damn good. Okay, so yeah, it just does good damage. It's weird, and it does good damage even, you know, considering the fact that you go back. Like, seriously, look at the skills. Look at the skills effect. It looks like it does nothing. I honestly look at the skill and I'm like, what does this do? Bind doesn't apply. Fire resist doesn't apply. Burn damage doesn't apply. I'm talking to world boss. All speed down doesn't apply. The guaranteed crit applies, but only for the skill, okay? The invincibility is nice, 6 seconds, gives him super armor for 6 seconds, which is whatever. And then he gets penetration for 5 seconds, which is also nice, but penetration is usually for PvP, and he's not going to be good for PvP, so it's not a question. And it also increases his damage by 90% for 1 attack, which would then land on his 5th skill. But then it's kind of awkward, because you don't want to land on his 5th skill because the proc has not activated yet, so you have to wait. So that means it's probably best with the CTP of Rage, because then you can proc at the beginning of the Rage, and then you can still have like 1 or 2 seconds left to pop the 5th skill and get that damage proc on top of the Rage, on top of the 5th skill regular damage. But just imagine, okay, imagine if the decreased fire resist here, instead of being 3 seconds, minus 10%, if it was 5 seconds, and if it was minus 2% up to minus 25%, and it applied to world bosses, okay? Like, let's say it was like Emma Frost's, you know, 5th skill. Hers goes up to 100%, minus 100%. But let's say it said stacked up to minus 25%. Just 25%. Just 25%. Okay? Okay? And let's say that his tier 3 skill also had that fire resist down, decreased fire resist by 30%, or sorry, 20%. Let's say it had the same thing, but it also applied to world bosses. Bro, Cyclops would be a monster. He would be absolutely insane. So maybe if someone out there wants to test it out, and we're going to jump into this real quick, but if someone wants to test it out, maybe Cyclops using strikers that give him all fire resist down that applies to world bosses, so like Emma Frost, maybe those will actually make him absurdly good for you know, for PvE content. Let me set up this team. I'll be back in a second. What's up? I tier 3'd Cyclops. Yeah, cool, right? So anyways, we went ahead with 2 strikers that give us ignore dodge. We don't have 100%. We got 90% at the moment, but I think it is enough, and we really need more than that. The mind control and the charm, because we need Corvus to just set his ass down and not move, because otherwise it's gonna be pretty bad for us. Now, level 60 is high, yes, but given my raid level and given everything else, I do have to say, kind of just a small little sort of mini, sort of 50% PSA. Corvus is a really, oh damn. Corvus is a really easy world boss. Corvus and Ebony are, I would say, the easiest world bosses, and they're the ones that have the lowest defenses. Now, in this case, I don't have I don't have any all defense down on Cyclops specifically, and then I do have all defense down, oh shit. I do have all defense down on the strikers. Wow, I'm getting CC'd like crazy. I do have all defense down on the strikers, but, you know, I don't have a rage CTP. But having a rage CTP and putting it on a character and taking them up against Ebony or Corvus does sort of, I feel like it does skew the damage a little bit. Because, you know, these characters, these enemies, sorry, these bosses already have really low... Are you serious right now? They already have really low defenses, and the rage just completely shreds whatever defense they had left. This is gonna hurt, bitch. Not really. But anyways, yeah, so I just want to point that out, you know, for those of you that think, you know, hey, people are getting to really high stages against specifically Ebony and Corvus. That's not a coincidence. You know, it's not a coincidence that the first guy to get to stage 99, and it was an amazing feat. I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but the first guy that got to stage 99 on any world boss, he got it against Corvus, and he was using the Sharon Rogers, White Fox, Deadpool trio, where he's stacking all defense down on Deadpool. This is before the CTP of Rage was even invented. and then he was switching over to Sharon Rogers and using the extra debuff amount and extra debuff time from White Fox to amplify Deadpool's all defense down so that it would last long enough for Sharon to crack this old dust bag and turn him into a Swiffer. But that's only possible, or partially only possible, because Corvus has such low defenses. So I do need to point that out. I do feel like it's a bit misleading. Shit. It's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like the weapon hex situation, where you have weapon hex coming in and doing damage, and making the character seem so godly because she drops that, you know, crazy 100% all defense down. But if you just reset the stage over and over again trying to get that, it can, you know, make it seem as though that character is really, really strong, but it is the character, but it's also weapon hex. So in this case, we're screwing up these procs really bad, but we are still getting, oh, I might be dead here. Yep. So the fire boy died to some fire. Yes, that was the irony of Cyclops dying to Corvus's flames. But anyways, we were gonna beat that. Trust me on that one. We were definitely going to be able to do a stage 60 minimum. So it seems like Cyclops can do 4 out of 5 of the world bosses. He can't do Proxima, I imagine, but yeah, like look at this, stage 51 with no strikers, and he's obliterating Ebony. So it's just weird, like, you know, on paper, Cyclops does not seem this good at all. And, you know, I know I said Cyclops, or Corvus and Ebony are the easiest world bosses, and they are, but he just has a lot of damage packed into that 6th skill, and it's just hard to read when you see the skill. He gets about 10,000, I believe, extra, oh man, it procced so early. Energy attack from his tier 3. I have to double check that because I had his leadership active when I originally did it, but let's see, like, yeah, he's just totally, I didn't even proc there. Even without a proc, I landed like, wow. Yeah, this is stage 50, so he doesn't even need strikers. He could probably go up to stage 55. I have max raid level, but he could probably go up to 55 without strikers at all, and still put in this kind of work. You know, there are still better tier 3s than him. So I'm a bit, not worried, but I'm a bit skeptical about my review because is he good? Yes. Is he better than I thought? Like, that was a lot of bars. That was almost 3 full bars. Is he better than I thought? Yes. Is he godly? No. Is he better than Sharon Rogers? No. I don't think he is better than Sharon Rogers. He can't even get 3.5 million with a CTP of Rage. So I don't think he's better than Sharon Rogers. Is he better than Iron Man? Maybe. I mean, Iron Man has time freeze, all defense down, healing. It's tough to say. Is he better than Magneto? Hell yes. Is he better than Doctor Strange? Hell no. Is he better than Jean Grey? Hell no. He's probably has 0 value in PvP, so I just want to make that clear as well. He's probably like Sharon Rogers level of useful in PvP, which is sad because I honestly thought he was going to be good for PvP because of rest in peace. And maybe I'll do some cute shit where I try to make him work in PvP with this uniform at tier 3 because at least he has a pretty fat energy attack stat. Maybe he can get some cute one-shots in against certain characters. I don't count on it. I doubt it, but maybe. But in the meantime, at least he is fun to play. He's cool. He looks amazing, obviously. And, you know, he's got that flame. Sorry, I'm starting to sort of have some air pockets as I talk. So anyways, we're going to wrap up this little intro review sort of spiciness for Cyclops. Let me know what you guys think of the tier 3. Did I make a mistake, or is it fun? Is it cool? Is it nice? Is it worth it? You decide, and then let me know what you guys want to see next for this guy and what kind of content. Subscribe if you enjoy, and of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you later today. Take care.